Hey everybody, welcome back to Hart Talks. I need to start off by making some apologies. First of all, I'm sorry that I'm in my onesie. I'm not feeling great, so I'm chilling out for this video. And number two is I'm sorry. Some of you might have noticed the sound on my last couple of videos hasn't been great. I'm using my vlogging camera because my actual filming camera has been in the shop trying to get fixed for weeks and weeks and weeks, so I apologise if the sound isn't up to scratch. Okay, now it's time to talk about Harvey Weinstein. So now, as everybody will know, Harvey Weinstein has been accused of a number of sexual attacks and rape. The last number that I could find was 93 accusations, and 13 of those were rapes. And it made me think back to being a young actor, to how we present ourselves and how we put ourselves at risk, really. And I always knew about the casting couch from being at college. I remember people used to say to me, what happens if you get put on the casting couch? And I remember being all holier than thou and saying, oh, I would never do this and I would never do that, and I want it to be about my career. I want it to be about my talent, not my body or what I can do with it. Seems funny thinking about that now, but it also makes me realise that from a young age, or from a young age at college, we were trained to be aware of this casting couch and be aware that we might be expected to do more for a part. And when you look at these actresses that have come forward, there's Rose McGowan, there's Kate Winslet, there's Angelina Jolie, just to name a few, who have all come forward and made accusations. And I've heard a lot of people saying, why do they come forward now, and why are they all coming out the woodwork? And as somebody who was sexually abused as a child and was raped as an adult, the amount of shame and just disbelief of the whole situation is unbelievable. And for some reason, the person that's been attacked always takes on the feeling of, what did I do? What have I done wrong? Was I looking the wrong way? Was I saying the wrong things to make this happen? And it took a long time for me personally to realise that it had nothing to do with that at all. It was just somebody else taking advantage. And that's what has happened with the Harvey Weinstein cases. He's taken advantage of who he is. So often as an actor, you would go to somebody's apartment or you would go to somebody's studio, and really, when I think about it now, we really put ourselves at risk a lot of the time. But it's expected. If a director says, I'll meet you in my hotel room, you go to the hotel room because you don't think about what could happen. It makes me think about people like Judy Garland and Whitney Houston and Amy Winehouse and other stars like that who are no longer here. And it just makes me think, did something happen to them? And that something happening to them, is that a reason that they're not here anymore? It really makes you think, because it does go on, and we're being opened up to how much more it goes on than we ever realised. I remember a casting director putting two fingers in her mouth and saying, into my mouth, and saying, if you're good to Mama, Mama will be good to you. And I just remember sitting there in her office and watching her do this and just thinking, oh my God, what do I do? But I just thought about my career. I thought about my future. I thought about just, everything that I'd worked so hard for to get. And this casting director was getting me to suck her fingers to try and encourage me to go further, which I didn't do. But it was definitely there and it was definitely on the table. I think what we've got to remember through this is that these women that have come forward are amazingly strong women, because it's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to tell your story, and especially when something's been done to you like that. There's so many fears. Will I be believed? Will they blame it on me? Will they think I was asking for it? There's so many fears like that, and it's easy for people just to go, no, I'm not going to do it. So the women that have done this, I applaud them and just think, well done. And it's time that there's a change. And now there's the allegation against Kevin Spacey from another actor, Anthony Rapp, who was in Rent, the original Broadway cast, who says that he was sexually assaulted by him when he was 14. And there's a huge amount of men that carry this secret and don't come forward with it. I know in the acting game, definitely, and I'm sure in other types of professions. I hope it gives power to the men as well, because for some reason men have this big macho image. It can't happen to me, it wouldn't happen to me, and it does happen. And there's a huge amount of guys that it does happen to, and a lot of them aren't reported. I remember when I was doing Shadow Dreamer, and I would talk to people in the audience afterwards, and a lot of guys said to me, I was abused as a child. You just think, these aren't reported, these aren't known about, so the figures for male rape probably are very incorrect. I've definitely put myself at risk as an actor, definitely, without doubt, and not thought about it. That's the thing, because we are taught to network, we're taught to sell ourselves, really, because this is the product that we are selling, and that's what you taught at college. That's what you're meant to do, and you'll do anything. If somebody says, if a casting director said to you, oh, I need you to do this, or I need you to do that, or so often we just say yes, because that's part of the job, but that doesn't include sex. That's what we need to realise, and that's what, however desperate you are for fame, nobody has a right to do that. That's my rant for today. It feels like a bit of a rant, but I just want to say well done to all the people that stand up and say, this is me, and hopefully we can do something to change it. Hopefully we can make a difference. Now, obviously, to change the subject completely, it was Halloween the other day, and I'm not a Halloweeny person, to be honest. I think the reason is because I'm a big scaredy cat, and so I never did anything this year for it. And did you hear that? I heard a scratching at the door. Make sure you subscribe to Hard Talks, because if you don't, Stephen will never return. What do you mean, good? Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, or else.